Hey, welcome to the Fundamental Network webinar. I've got Cody Kearns here as my guest. Thanks for being on the show, man.
We're pretty close right now.
We are very close. We got phones right there. The Fundamental Network is meant to teach you practical things that I have learned over the last 2 years from my network. And this is a network that I'm calling my Power 25. Coach Michael Burt talks about your Power 25. The 25 people that have the most influence in your life, that are making the most change, that have taught you the most, that have helped your business grow, your life overall. And so what we're focused on today is how to create relationships from online to offline.
Yep.
That's the main focus of today. But if you're not familiar with Cody Kearns and I Come Up Marketing, why don't you tell them a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, I mean, in short, we help business owners, entrepreneurs, employees, really anyone, right, who uses social media at this point, which is every single person in the world.
Yeah.
We teach them how to brand themselves and earn business through social media. On top of that, we do growth services, management services, but ultimately the end goal in the elevator pitch is, hey, we want to help you brand yourself. We want to help you establish an image and a character for yourself on social media, understand how to use it, which ultimately leads to more conversions and potential opportunities, leads, partnerships, whatever the goal is, right, for you as the individual. So a lot of digital marketers are, I could sit here and say, oh, we grow Instagram followings and things like that. But I think that's kind of fading out.
Right.
I think the part is, of course, people can grow your following, but what's the strategy behind growing your following so that there can be some sort of return from the efforts?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so that's what we want this webinar to be interactive. If you've got questions, please ask those questions. We'll be able to answer those directly. If you hear anything that kind of pops up, but this is going to be something we're doing on a monthly basis and interviewing people like Cody. So, one thing that I'll just say that has been big for our business, that has been a big change, is not only just trying to grow the following like you were talking about, but really learning the art of taking that relationship from online to offline. And I think that for me, it was a lot easier for me to begin with because I was already networking in my business. Most people think that, you get on Instagram, oh, I got to get on social media. That's going to help me make that next big jump or whatever. Well, it will, but I think there's some essential skills that you got to have of networking before.
And understanding.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And I think that's one thing that even I didn't understand to begin with that I wanted to focus on today is like, what are those networking skills like that you used before Instagram, or like, where did you learn that? Or was it through Instagram maybe?
I mean, it was really through Instagram. Before all the limitations and like the governors on social media, specifically Instagram, it was the Wild West. And my whole intention was, okay, I have my one account, right? Every human or person or account on social media is their own sun. Everything else on your social media revolves around your profile. Right?
Okay.
How many people you can get revolving around you as the brand.
No matter what businesses you have or anything.
It doesn't matter. It's all people.
It's got to be you.
Any business is people.
Right.
So,
yeah, I agree.
So with Instagram, the goal was, this is how I network on Instagram. I'm going to get as many people talking about me and putting me on their page so that all those people out there come to my network.
Right.
Which will, of course, result in more business if I have a decent product or service.
Right.
Decent. So that was the intention 4.5 years ago when I started. It's, hey, I'm going to get people to shout me out. I'm going to get people sharing my name. I'm going to get in the camera with other people. I'm going to go out there and just get people in my marketplace.
Right.
I didn't even know what I was selling. But that's the thing. I didn't have this tight tension. Like, I'm doing this just for the money. It's like,
right.
I really wanted to get out there and just build an audience.
Well, and that's like, I mean, I always compare it to going like to Paul Croft says the chip and dip events or networking events, like chip and dip. But like the chamber events and stuff like that, you might not have even, you probably didn't even do any of that. Right. But
no.
the whole point of going to the event isn't to sell somebody. You're going to the event to meet people.
Yep.
You're literally going there to shake their hand, to figure out what's your name. What do you do?
People's intentions are just wrong. And the internet's made it worse because the internet, everything is so fast, right? How do I make this? How do I do this? How do I put this together? So many things can be self-taught or just like done in 2 seconds.
Right.
Business, building relationships, gaining people's trust through the internet is not a microwave process.
Right.
So like you said, people will use social media and say, oh, this isn't working, right? And it's been 30, 60 days. And their intention from day
it's
one
not going to
was
work
wrong.
in 30 or 60 days.
Yep.
I mean, when you're trying to take a relationship from online to offline, it can take years.
So
it can take a year at least.
Taking we kind of like coined that phrase, you know, we help people take online relationships offline.
Yeah.
To you, what is the like, I'll go into it too, but what is the flow that you've gotten into? And I know we assist with some things, but
yes.
how do you view the whole system, and how are you thinking about, okay, I'm seeing this ecosystem in this cycling process?
Well, I mean, the way I view the system is it's a networking event that I'm going to every day. It's a place. I've got an audience. Yeah, some of the audience is people that are in India and people that are overseas.
Hey, if you're from India,
all that
or
kind of stuff,
anywhere outside of the US, can you put a comment?
Yes, please do. Like, I mean, I know even I'm already still saying it that way. You hear what I'm saying, right? Like, I still haven't even gotten outside the fact that, like, okay, that doesn't even matter.
Outside of the US can use social media.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, even, and it's not, I'm not trying to be offensive. It's just a reality of it. Like, even though I've got all these followers that might not actually do business with me, I'm still going to the networking event every day.
Yeah.
And so when I go there to meet people, I'm starting to start that relationship, and I don't even realize I'm starting that relationship.
Don't be the guy or girl that goes to the party that is a really good time, but just because one thing is off, it's not cool for you, right? That's like social media.
Yes.
You show up to the party, everything's going good, but you see the guy or girl you want to talk to, talk with someone else. Oh, this party's lame.
Oh yeah, who are they shouting out?
Exactly.
Like, are you really working with them? You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, you've got to go into it with that mindset of, I'm just trying to present myself. I'm just trying to show people. You know, a lot of people talk about bringing value. I'll talk about Pat Hilton, the MC for NugaCon this week. Like, he always talks about bringing value, but Pat, you really do want to try to help people in what you're talking about. Like, when I went to a networking event before, I would always be like, who can I connect this person with? Like, I'll learn about what you do. And my thing, what I did is I was like, how can I help them connect with somebody else? And that was before social media. Like, I've only been on social media for 2 years. And so like, that's my mindset going into it. So my experience so far with social media has been that same thing. I'm going to go on here. I'm going to talk about what I am, who I am. I'm going to pretend like I'm playing a round of golf with them. That's how I met people before, is I would play golf with them. Well, you spend 4 hours with somebody, you pretty much know, and eventually business comes up.
Of course.
So I'm not even talking about business to begin with. I'm asking them questions like, you know, do you like red or blue? Do you like TV, or do you like social media? You know, like these random things, just trying to get to know the audience, get to know the followers. And then what happens is eventually somebody says, hey, I appreciate what you said about that, about taxes. You're right on point. I was wondering about that. Here's my number.
Yep.
And so then that's when it happens.
I mean, I'm 4.5 years in, and I'm still putting through my head that business is people. Okay. Social media is not a place where you just go and sell and pitch and sell and pitch. It's, how can I be a person of interest, someone who's entertaining, someone who's built this character that's genuine to who I am, right?
Right.
But you need to be the life of your own party.
Right. I mean, it's got to
be interesting, and you have to show things. Let's go, Grant. 10X, baby.
There he is.
Here.
Yeah. I mean, and you have to, like, why am I going to watch this?
Yeah.
Right. Like, what's the reason for me to watch your story?
And that's a big thing that can actually sell and pitch. Sell and pitch, sell and pitch, sell and pitch. Grant's like, Cody, don't ever tell people that they shouldn't be selling and pitching every single moment of every day on social media.
I mean, he sells and pitches a lot.
But Grant is a perfect example, though.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't, because he has mastered those 3 keys of his brand, which is that personal, professional, and what he likes to do for fun.
Yes.
And throughout those processes and everything, he is selling, whether it's blatantly or subliminally, right? But he's always promoting himself. He's having fun on the jet with the 10X flag.
But there's a difference in selling and promoting.
Of course.
I mean, the promoting is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm here at the party. I'm here at the event. Like, I'm here today. I'm here for you. I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to interact. Like, let's go.
So well, let's wrap around. So the online relationships offline, anyone watching this, you have a business, you're within a company, it doesn't matter. If you're in any sort of position where you generating leads or income can help you make more money or help your company, which should be 99.99% of people, you have to learn how to take people from online to offline. The easiest way to do that is to engage with someone through direct messaging. I've been saying this for years, and then Gary Vee puts out a video like a year ago or something about DMing people, and everyone's like, "Did you see what Gary Vee said?" So
right.
But it just helps a lot, because when Gary Vee goes out and says that, it's like, okay, stamp of approval on it.
Right.
You got to be using direct messaging, 10 to 20 messages a day to your target market, whether it's location specific or it's industry specific. You have to put together a script and treat social media like an actual lead generation source, because so many people still think it's kind of a joke, right? It's not that serious. Oh, it's just for fun.
It's not working for me.
It's not working because
I'm not getting any results.
DMs, but that's just because they don't trust you. So the branding, what you look like, the content you're posting comes first, because when you message somebody, what do you think that person's going to do? Within 3 seconds, when they see it, they're going to click your account and say, who is this person?
Right.
Do I want to engage with this person or not?
Right.
If every post on JD's wall is a selfie video of him selling accounting services, that person's probably going to open that message, leave it on red, and JD's going to go, this thing sucks. It doesn't work. Right. But
yeah,
that's not the case.
Well, and two, I mean, I don't really remember the actual time, but when you started to help us with the wall, like change, I don't even know the real language, but like changing up the post, like that's a part of what you all are doing that really had a big effect for me, I believe, with engagement, is having the different wall posts, like not being, you were like, you got the same background, the same thing, the same, like it just happened that way. And so that's one thing that y'all had really helped with, is for me to understand, look, they're going to go to your wall. Like they're going to go to your profile. That's where they're going to see who you really are. Is this person interesting or not?
Card.
Yes.
Is exactly how we've coined it. Your brand, your images, what you're posting on your wall it's everything.
But the other part of it, is the work, the daily consistent work of posting in a story, of talking about what's going on. And you mentioned to it before, but the personal, professional,
and your hobbies.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Your personal life, your professional life, and then what you like to do.
And then the hobbies. So what's the difference in personal and hobbies?
Okay. For example, personal for me would be like me with my girlfriend, me with family,
me with my family,
with your kids.
Yeah.
Hobbies. I'm sure your hobby doesn't include hanging out with your daughter, right? Your hobby is like going and playing golf. Yeah. So,
which I haven't done since September 8th.
Yeah.
September 8th. Like I know the exact day. It's been a long time.
Personal is a lot different, because another example, like this morning, I put up a post about like my dad growing up, right? I want to consider that a hobby of mine. Right. Of not having a father. But that's personal.
So it could even be a personal
what's
touch.
The hook? What's the hook for people to be like, damn, I can relate with that person?
Yeah.
And that's really hard for people to find. And I'm still figuring it out.
So personal would be past stories.
What about you makes you a human being that I can relate with? That's personal. Hobbies are a little bit more surface. I like
telling
bars,
a story.
I like going golfing.
Yeah.
But personal, telling a story, pain points. How can you relate with people? Personal struggles, right?
Yeah.
Things like that. And a lot of people don't really talk about that stuff.
It's hard to talk about that stuff.
Posting a photo with your wife or husband or kids, it's okay. That's great. I mean, it's pretty surface level, but why don't you talk about the issues and problems that you have within the family and how you work through them, and things that people can really like grasp onto?
Yeah. But what I will say is the ones that I get the most engagement out of, the story post where I've talked about like keep it real or hashtag real talk or whatever. Those are the ones that get the most engagement. I mean, I remember, Grant put one on his YouTube channel where he like literally just sat to the camera, and it was the most real that I think I've ever seen.
He's talking in this tone. He's not.
Yeah.
He's human being.
He was a human. He was a human in that post, And I'm like, dude, I wish you would do it. I think if he did more of those, he would get even more following. But my point is on the personal stuff, if you're trying to find a way, how do I get an online relationship? We're talking about taking it from online to offline. You got to start with the online relationship. So to get the online relationship is be vulnerable and talk about your personal shit.
Yep.
Like talk about what's going on. Now you might not want to give like full details, and that's fine. You can choose your filter. That's the cool thing. I was talking to Hank Norman about that. I was like, how much do I share? Like, how far do I go? He's like, it's your show.
I mean, it's another example.
It's your thing.
Hey, how many people that follow Grant? Where's Grant from? You know where he's from?
I have no idea.
Okay. Do you know his daughter's names?
I probably should. But I don't remember right now.
The point I'm trying to make is
what are you saying?
You know personal things,
personal
about
information.
Him. I know he's from Lake Charles, Louisiana, because every time he tells the same story about how he's from Lake Charles. He was addicted to drugs. He got the shit beat out of him. He almost died. He was addicted to this, this, and this. All those things where people that have had similar problems have grasped onto that, which has climbed them up his ladder to go from, I was also a drug addict, I relate to you, to, hey, I'm also going to invest $100,000.
Yep, exactly.
It didn't start with, I'm going to invest $100,000. Most of the time it's, where's that ladder, that entry point for people to come in and be like, nice to meet you, man. I want to know who you are, because again, it's not the product, like he says, that's the best. It's the most known.
Sabrina.
Wait,
isn't that one of his daughter's
Scarlett
names?
and Sabrina.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to.
Is it Scarlett and Sabrina?
I think it's Sabrina. I think so.
I know Scarlett is one of them.
Give us another story.
Yeah, Scarlett and Sabrina.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, exactly. But it's the personal, it's that personal post, that personal story that really does start to resonate with people. I mean, like when I go somewhere and I'm talking to somebody, I went to lunch with a guy that I didn't really know yesterday. He was telling me about how he started his businesses. He talked about, what he's doing now for his kids. He talked about being a grandfather. Like he discussed things that were personal. I mean, that connected me with him immediately. And yeah, he wasn't posting on social media, but for us to have an immediate connection, it required that.
Of course.
And that's what I think is the blessing and the curse of social media, and in particular Instagram. When you are putting yourself out there, you are going to have more engagement because it's easier for everyone to relate to that. Nobody gives a shit about accounting services until they care.
Yeah.
Until it does affect them.
So what has this done for you though in the last year and a half? I mean, the last like 4 months, I feel like really.
And it's been a long journey of it. Like I was saying, it's been almost 2 years since I've been on social media. So the first year was just like a lot of trial and error. I mean, I had some success. I did generate some business, but what's happened recently in the last, I would say 4 to 5 months. And I would also say it's because of what's actually happened to me as a person over the last 4 or 5 months, is it's caused me to get back into my business, back in the operations, like getting into the little bit of the nitty gritty of the business. And so my posts have been even more passionate, talking about that experience, talking about those things that really affect business owners, like getting into the relatable things, when before I was kind of talking about these bigger ideas like, hey, let's go on a boat, that kind of a thing. Hey, we're traveling again. We're doing this. Oh, I'm in this car, or I'm on this jet, or whatever. And it wasn't intentional. It was just, I felt like that was something that somebody would want to see.
Yep.
But what's interesting is people really want to see, I don't know how to describe it, but like when
showing
you feel
works for so long,
Well, and it's not that I was trying to show off, but it was like
you were showing off.
but
another day, another jet.
But what works now is like when I'm feeling like the world is coming to an end, and I'm like picking up the phone and I'm like, dude, this is what's going on. Like, this is the way I feel. Like, I've got to make payroll this week.
Yep.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. I know I've got the amount of money right here. I've got this coming in. I've got that coming in. And my backup plan is this relationship over here, where I know I could go get a loan, or I could go get some more money or whatever when my business is like going through a difficult time. And then what happens is somebody sees that and they go, holy shit, like this guy's real.
Yep.
And it makes it more real. So in relation to that, I've been able to take in the last 4 or 5 months, 100% of our business has come from social media. 100%.
Holy shit.
and it's because of how active and I believe how much more real that it's gotten.
Well, and your belief just continues to grow with it.
Yeah, right.
It's everything going on in here that attracts what is going to happen.
Oh man, I was talking about that in our morning meeting this morning.
I mean, it's
like
it's
I wish you were in there.
It's too real. It's it's proven at this point, you know, like
right.
You got to go into social media with the right mindset and understanding that you are starting a 200-pound weight loss journey, and it's going to take years.
And it takes years. I mean, like I said, it's been a full year of, I mean, I hit it a lot. If you follow me, you see like my story right now has a lot of dots on it, but the practical part of it, that I want to talk about too is like when you're taking that online relationship offline. One thing that I've kind of struggled with and I go back and forth quite a bit is like somebody will give you their number. Does it have to be you that calls them? If you have a sales team, can you put that person into that sales process? The way that we do it is
so unorthodox. And even when I tell you it, you're like, well, we have systems and other processes, you know, like
right, yeah.
The way that we do it is when I get a phone number, within 10 minutes, they're being texted from me. I'm texting them. Hey, what's going on? It's Cody. Appreciate you giving me your number. Hey, does 4:30 p.m. tomorrow work for a quick call? I will never just call somebody because I wouldn't want that.
So, okay. So that's key. Like you won't just pick up the phone and call them. You're going to text them.
Okay. Like you can't just go on a date with a guy or girl and be like, and just kiss them. Right. It's like, hey,
just because I'm calling them doesn't mean I want to kiss them. But this is important.
You can't go from, hey, what's going on? I'm JD Frost. I want to get connected with you. You know, they give you your number. Hey, this is JD, you know, like it's a lot for people. You got to understand the barriers of.
And this is really important. Like this is very key.
You just have to understand the game of people. Okay. They're meeting you. If they have no idea who you are and it's a DM and they give you their phone number, do you think they want to be called immediately and pitched?
I mean,
or do you
before we have these kinds of conversations, yes. Like you gave me a number, you want me to call you. Like I'm going to call you.
Call them immediately.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I mean, honestly, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing like that I'm used to in my business. If I went to a networking event, somebody hands me a business card. They're like, hey, give me a call.
Yeah.
Which is basically like, give me your number.
You're also meeting them in person though.
I totally
understand. Treating it the same way.
But this is important for us to be kind of breaking this down because this is the practical shit that's actually going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Clearly I've gotten lucky sometimes, but yeah, I would immediately call them or immediately
text them. What
we've started doing.
You know how much money I close just through text. You know, what's crazy though, is sometimes you don't even have to call people. They'll pay right through text message.
Yep.
They feel more comfortable actually in text. So I just use it as a gauge, you know?
Yeah. But I think that's a good next step. Like, okay, you get the number, then text them.
Yep.
Because then you've actually taken that at least from Instagram to straight to your phone.
Exactly.
Phone to phone.
Yep.
Like not, hey, we're not like
phone to phone
dating over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a really important step that I haven't really even thought about.
We text.
Learning right now. This is why we call this the fundamental network. This is the fundamentals that you need to know about social media so that you are able to take these relationships from online to offline. And the fundamental thing of understanding too, that this doesn't just happen overnight. It's it's hit me a ton lately about the success of social media.
A year and a half in, $100,000 plus in, now the last 4 months are really starting to open up.
Right.
Like think about that. Think about spending $125,000. You know, maybe you're at like a break even point or whatever. Like it's hard to track, right? Mm-hmm. It's so hard to track. But
dude, the thing is though, it's even more than that because what happens now is, so I've got a relationship with Jerry Fetta.
Yeah.
I've never met Jerry Fetta before in my life. I've only talked to him on the phone maybe 3 or 4 times.
Social media.
And I met him through social media.
How much business has he brought you?
Well, I mean, he's probably referred us at least
$250,000.
Well, now it would be close to it. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like,
and I haven't even met him, but what I'm saying is to answer your question, it's not even a break even because he knows other people. They know other people. They know other people.
Up until that point.
Right.
I'm saying
yeah.
the first like year of you.
Oh yeah,
investing
yeah,
in
yeah,
building your
yeah.
brand.
It was about break even on that.
It was about you figuring out who you were too.
Yes.
And the character that you want to portray.
Completely.
And us figuring out the system of how it's going to work and people changing within the company and who's going to contact.
And I'll even say this, the character that I was, like, I remember you talking to me when we were first starting. Number one, he was like, how in the world are you going to be able to produce content every day? I'm like, well, CPAs, we have so much stuff going on. Like it's there. The second thing was, dude, like, what are you even offering? You're all over the place. Well, I mean, I was all over the place in my life.
Yeah. Like 87 product offers.
It like showed through all these different, you know, it like came through like you were talking about, like as a person. I know exactly what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And I believe over the last 3 or 4 months, that's really started to hone in that focus.
And your team is now saying, okay, we need $2,000 down.
That's right.
Through the door.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Like
exactly.
That's it. You're a year ago, it was like, well, I have my Rainmaker Club. I have this. You can do a $9 a month. We have a $30,000 a quarter. We have this. You can do I'm like, how is anyone going to know what to do? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of it is internal stuff too, of just figuring out what's that offer? What's that quick offer?
Well,
hey, our deal's $30,000. Let's get you in today for 2.
Yeah. And it's made our business, our overall business, like social media video has made our overall business even simpler. Like we know how it operates. We have to make it to where you understand what's happening with the business.
So let me ask you on social, are you worried or focused on the instant amount of engagement that you get?
No.
Okay. What's your biggest focus?
Just producing content and putting stuff out there. Like literally, like I don't even really think about it anymore because it just becomes a part of my day.
Because I know we had a guy who was trolling you for your engagement.
Oh that? Yes. Yeah. Like I don't even look at like likes and the fact that there's comments from people that I don't know and like all this other like
one post gets this and another one.
Yeah.
Gets that.
I don't even look at any of that. I'm just literally just producing. I'm just focused on going to the event every day. Like that's my focus. And the ones that are engaging, the ones that are DMing me, you know, having that relationship, like you're saying, and like really make it a relationship. Like, what are you struggling with? Like, how is this for your business?
It's really just caring.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
it is.
And the caring starts with you actually like caring about your business.
Yes.
You have to care about what you're doing and believe in what you're doing.
Right.
Before you can go care about what someone else is doing.
Completely. And really understand that you're having that big of an effect, like accounting services. For me recently, it's been goal writing. I mean, goal writing the daily ledger, like that is, man, like you talk about wanting to accomplish anything you want. Like GC talks about it all the time. I've never seen anybody actually do it.
He dropped in here.
That was pretty cool. But
Power of social media.
But it's like the fact that now I'm using the social media to hold me accountable to write down my goals every day because I wasn't doing it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start this journey. Well, I mean, I have people that are like, God, dude, like stop posting about that. Like, I'm tired of seeing it.
Good. That's when you know it's working.
And I'm like, well, I understand. I just want you to be able to see the accountability. Like, how does that really work? And for me, selfishly, it's like when I post it, like I'm going to do it.
Of course. Well, it's like someone going to the gym and showing their progress.
Yes. Yeah.
Feel bad about yourself losing weight and working hard in the gym. You know, like there are people like that though. No, feel bad about it. Don't show us your success.
Right.
But those people are great because it just, to me, that's a sign that I'm doing something right. I'm getting more attention and more noise, right? The guy who's harassing you and trolling you about your engagement, what are his intentions? How is he feeling about his self and his brand?
Right.
Not well.
Probably not.
Because when you go out and you got to attack, something's not right in here, right? So it's just, like you said, and what we're saying is just aligning yourself to know what your goal, your process, your offer is so that when people do start responding to you, it's like that.
Right.
It's like Logan knows exactly what he needs to offer now. 6 months ago, this man was not
had no idea.
He's
exactly. And nobody else could. Nobody else could. That's why I'm saying it actually helped us streamline our business.
Yep.
Like off the
4
camera,
months,
off the
100% of his business through the internet, through social media channels.
Yeah. And I would even say, like, I know it's I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's the skills of caring for somebody else. It's this, like, it's taught me how to do that. It's taught me what is more important to other people. It's the personal stuff. It's the personal stories. And so when you're thinking about social media and taking that online relationship offline, like going into it and using it and hiring somebody like Cody as well, like you've got to have the right mindset going into it. You have the right goal. Like you are just trying to meet other people, connect with other people. I do not get up or look at anything, a wall post, story post, whatever. I'm not trying to sell a NewGaCon ticket. I'm trying to tell you about it and tell you where to go so that then you can purchase one. Like it's not about that.
Yeah.
Right. It eventually could turn into it, but that's your decision in watching. That's your decision. It's my decision to tell you about all this stuff. And so the more that you can get into that mindset of understanding that you are just there to show up, to just show what's going on and put it into those categories, that's when it's magic. It really is magic.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a fun ride for us.
Oh yeah.
You know, like JD and I think have done $500,000 in business, like almost directly, like no questions asked, back and forth. Been working together for 1.5 years. He was our first celebrity client ever. Okay. And it's funny because once he did it, we had like 5 more people do it. So you kind of like
just takes one.
You unlock that belief level for me to be like, wow, I really can sell $100,000 plus package.
Right. Yeah.
Even though you have a hell of a deal. But it was good. And
it works.
We've done a lot together. And I think the biggest thing that I've learned from you is even through like the worst times that you've had or that we've had in our relationship or like uncertainties, like you've never actually backed down or been like, hey, we need to just, we need to stop this, because how easy is it for people to just say, no, this isn't working.
No,
I don't want to do this. I'm going to shrink up. I need to save some money. I got to shave off the top. I got to go.
Yeah.
You haven't done that once.
Right. Well, and I think that a lot of that comes from like, I know that it works. Like I know what works.
Well, where else are you going to go meet that many people?
At nowhere. Zero.
Like, tell me. Tell me where.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's even like from that standpoint on even the social media. Yeah. I mean, gosh, how many opportunities would I have had to use it as an excuse to go, man, I don't need to do this anymore. Like, and I've thought it. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like I've thought it a ton of times, but I'm like, every time I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Why would I cut off the stream?
Right. And all of the effort, the time, used to start to build it. Like, why would you just throw all that away?
And then boom, momentum.
Right.
And then momentum hits.
Right. Right.
That's the best part.
And I think it's like what I've been talking about a lot with our team, our third core value is success through structure and fundamentals, and just maintaining the fundamentals of.
It's like a college class. Okay, everyone. Today we're talking about our third core fundamental.
That's the accountant in me, man. Yeah. But it's the fundamental of understanding what the social media is about, like how you can use it. Like you've got to post on the story. You've got to be texting the number.
Warm it up. You got to warm it up.
Warm up the relationship. And that's
hurt something.
Right. Yes.
You can't just,
and I have before. I have. Yeah. Like I've messed it up. I'm not like perfect at this by any means. I just learned something really new now.
It's the cool factor. It's the hey, I don't need to just call you right away and pitch you because I got things going on and I'm gonna text you out of respect for both of us.
Right.
And then I just pick a time. That's another thing too that people. And when's a good time for you? Oh, I'll get back to you. Okay, sounds good. How many salespeople do that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, sounds good. Okay, I'll reach out later this week.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's Cody. Thanks for giving me your number. Are you free today at 3:30 p.m. or would tomorrow at 1 p.m. work better for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm choosing.
So give an actual date and time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And if they push out more than like 3 or 4 days, I mean, unless there's like they're on vacation or something, then you probably know it might not be. In that case is when I'll give the number to somebody else.
Okay. All right. So you are personally doing it at first.
But for example, for you, right? Like if you're going to have Logan call them, I
What I've
I don't
started.
tell them. I'll say, hey, it's Cody. Will I come up be free at 1 p.m. for a call? At 1 p.m. they're going to get a call. I will text them at 12:55. Hey, I'm calling you from a 336 number, Brandon Pack, my Logan, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you are still playing a part, and then Logan is taught to say, hey, I'm here. It's JD and Logan. We want it. And then
right.
we're both present, whether I'm in the other room or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Brandon's doing the call, but I'm there because I've talked to them, whether I'm listening or not.
Right.
I'm involved in that.
Well, and you've kind of taken that relationship to where now, okay, you're still holding their hand through it rather than, oh, cool, I got a number, I'm just going to pass it off now.
Yeah, no.
Good luck.
No.
Right.
I'm
yeah,
walking
you can't.
them through up until they pick up the phone.
Which is what, which if I think about it, that's what I would do if I had somebody say, hey, JD, you need to call this person, like, or text them or set up a meeting. Like, I'm going to do that immediately. Anyways, that's one thing you really convicted me on is I was doing that pass off every time.
You're being the
and then
CEO.
And then it was like, nah, that doesn't work.
That's when you
You
get
know?
300 leads and none close and you go, this doesn't work. It's like, no,
Yes.
you don't work. You ain't working, dog.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
and if
you're not working.
And if it's not working, it really is you. I'm sorry to tell you, but it is.
You're not working.
Yeah, because it does work. Like, I don't care what business you're in, what you're trying to do, the personal branding, it does work.
I mean, like, think
and you
about
can take it as far as you want.
even your guys here that have the suit business. Like, in my mind, I'm like, they're probably thinking so small that they can just sell suits here in Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
But why can't they tailor a suit for me and send me it in Miami
Mm-hmm.
if they know my measurements?
I met another guy down in Atlanta who's on Instagram, and he was delivering a suit up in St. Louis.
It's like
because he found a client on
gotta
Instagram.
Think bigger than just your local little tiny market. It's 2020. You will be run over in the next 1 to 3 years if you're not willing to service people around the country.
Well, and definitely miss out on some opportunity.
Yeah. Well,
sure.
I mean, you're gonna stay the same.
Yeah.
And if you like staying the same, it's fine. But I feel like a lot of people, for fulfillment, growth is what fulfills.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I'm not talking about just that one. I'm talking about a lot of businesses, because we work with a lot of people too that are like in jewelry or this and that, and they're saying, no, we don't want to service anyone outside of our town. And in my mind, I'm like,
why?
Why
Right.
don't you want to try and figure out a way to,
Or at least create the problem to where you can't service them, and then connect with somebody who does the same thing.
Yep.
Hook up, partner up,
So many
whatever.
opportunities.
Like that's what you got to be doing. Do we have any questions or anything that have come through? Yeah.
We have one from Drew Barrett. He has two questions. The first one is, how much time and energy are you spending daily/weekly? And then the other one was, what was the turning point for you to make the decision to invest?
So how much time do I spend daily? I would say daily, probably a total of 30 minutes total throughout the whole day. On my activity in Instagram, it says like an hour and 15, 20 minutes or something like that on average on a day. So when I say the 30 minutes, I mean like that's like thinking about it. Like, hey, yeah, I haven't posted, or sometimes it'll be like, I haven't posted and I've actually posted like 20 times. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that would be the answer to that. We also I've got videographer, and so we have shows and all that kind of stuff, strategy, the things that we're doing quite often too. So I'd say on average, to say it, an hour would be the answer a day spending on social media.
when did you decide to invest? What was the breaking point?
So
Dude, you started out spending
started out-
as much as an 18-year-old could spend.
So I saw,
When you started investing in your
Yes.
social, what was it, $500 a month?
so the turning point for me was when I started investing with him. I got a call from Robert Sislo, actually referred me to you. And he's
Great guy.
I
I love
noticed the
Robert.
following on him, and he referred me to Cody. And so I started off on like the really basic package. I don't even know what it was.
$500 a month.
$500 a month.
My 16-year-old cousin's daughter could.
So then I finally went down. That was in about, I guess, July or August. Then in November, I think it was, I went down and visited you with one of my buddies, Webb Ralston.
I love Webb too.
And we were sitting there talking, and Webb was like talking about this platinum package or something. And
Austin, what's up, brother? He's flying in tonight. Let's
oh
go,
yeah.
baby.
What's up, Austin? And I was like, what's the platinum package? Like, what is this? And we were talking about the personal, like Cody was giving me shit about having the cigar in my mouth and talking to people about accounting the whole time. Like, I'll never forget it because it resonated with me. He's like, dude, you need to talk about other things. Like, talk about the other stuff that's going on. Don't just tell me about accounting. Like, I don't really care. Like, and get the cigar out of your mouth and like really talk to me. And so when I heard Webb was on that, I was like, well, screw that. Like, I'm going to go all the way. So that's when I signed up for the
And that was my fault too, because I'm like, wow, I have been letting this guy play too small with me.
Right. Yeah. And so
you leveled up to the platinum, and then like a month later, he was like, dude,
that's when things started happening.
Let's just go big. Let's just max it out and just go.
Yeah. So that's what kind of convinced me. Did I answer the question? Basically?
Yeah. So JD's at the point now where every, 45, 60 days where now he has Jay who does all of his video, but we have Dorian coming into events like tomorrow, capturing content. We're managing his messages. We're helping with the lead flow. We're posting for you. We're coming up with the copy, just a lot of different things. We've kind of worked in this flow of where we know what should be focused on and what shouldn't, because we've been working together so long that we just know where the focus should be. And then also, he's gaining anywhere from 20 to 60,000 followers a month. Every month, pretty much just like, hey, these are the promotions we should get you in. We have a US based one. I'm going to get you in this international one too. And that's how he's been able to grow his following up towards the end of this month. You'll be near 300,000 by the end of this month.
Right. Yeah. And two, like I have thought about bringing it in house, like doing it all on my own and everything. But like with something like Instagram, with something that is working, that is,
I know where you work.
Fact,
you'll never bring it in house.
It's a proven fact. Like it's leaving it to the experts and continuing to rely on them. And that's what's really helped me too. That's why I continue to invest, because it continues to produce.
I want to tell 2020 is the year of just letting it flow.
Yeah.
Stop watching the news. Oh, and a recession is coming. And no, just stop with the nonsense and stop worrying about what it costs to pay people to help you grow your mission and your company. Just stop, get out of that. Stop thinking about what things cost and think about what it can do for you in the long run, not in the immediate.
Well, and I think too, though, like I totally understand what you're saying, but you have to figure out how to get clear on what you're really wanting to do.
100%. You are the conductor.
Yeah. And it's all up to you, and you're in control, and social media will work for you if you work it. It will not work for you if you think somebody else should make it work for you. If it's not working for you, it's because of you. And the only way to get outside of that is to work on you and to rely on people that you see are making it work and do what they are doing. And then you got to be patient. Like this, like you're saying, you're not trying to hook up with somebody on the first date.
Yeah,
you've got to get to know them. You've got to let them get to know you.
Take them out to dinner.
It's taken people a long time. Like even now, I'm still impatient, and I know I have to be patient.
But where does that impatient come from? It comes from you. Let's go down to the root of this. When we are impatient and want to just get things like that, it's because we're in a state of mind that says, I'm stressed. I need things to happen right now. I need to make my payroll. I need to pay my bills. I have kids.
You've got to control it.
You have to control it and put it down here and say, I know I really want to kiss you right now because you're so good looking, but I'm going to sit here at dinner with you for 2 or 3 hours and listen to you and understand you and see where your head is at. And you know what I'm saying?
And that starts here.
Yes.
It's
all mental.
It's all mental. And so I would encourage you with this whole social media thing, the fundamental of it is it does come back to you. That's, talk about Hank Norman, like 101 right there.
Hanky Spanky.
Yeah, exactly. Any other questions right now?
Nah, I don't think so. Any on
anything
Instagram?
Else that you want to talk about?
Well, someone asked us if we're gay for each other.
No.
Anyone on the same mindset, hit me up. Let's collaborate off of each other. Grant, 10X, selling pitch. Oh yeah. That's why I comment on my post from my journey to broke, best friends, 1.2 million in real estate. Let's go. He's mastered more than people could comprehend. Can't wait for today. Cody's smarter than Gary V. Yeah, I know. No, I'm just kidding. Gary is the man. Gary is build your tribe. See you tomorrow in Tennessee. There's a good amount of people coming here.
Yeah, it seems like it.
I'm like, how many tickets did I sell just for my network? I need commissions for this. But here's the thing. Like, another thing too, if you and I working together, like, you don't always know what I'm flowing towards you too. And not everyone that buys a ticket or that works with you is going to say, I found you through so-and-so, right? So that's where the ROI of social.
Well, and I think it's part of the connection, part of the network.
Yep.
And staying in it. So thank you very much for joining on this webinar, the Fundamental Network webinar. We're doing this once a month.
Someone from Iran in here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy. Once a month. Do we have the actual date? Is it
any advice
change?
On scaling?
So we got the Fundamental Network. This is our Power 25. My next guest, I have no idea who it is, but you'll be seeing probably some advertisement for it, I'm sure, on social media. Thank you very much for being on the show.
The viewers are going up on here. We can end this show, but I want to keep on.
Yeah, we can keep going here.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on and dealing with my coffee breath this whole time.